Locked On Jets, Locked On Colts crossover Thursday ahead of Week 11 action. Colts coming to the Meadowlands, a game that was originally scheduled for Sunday night is now 1 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. Zach, we'll start with you. Colts are the road team. What are your keys to victory for Indianapolis?
I really think it just comes down to the quarterback play. What can we get out of this quarterback position for the Indianapolis Colts? You look at what they did last week against the Buffalo Bills team, and I know the scoreboard didn't say this, but it was a closely fought game where the Colts really had a good chance to knock off one of the top teams in the AFC. It's just their quarterback forgot what team he played for most of the game. He threw a lot of interceptions in this one. He made a lot of mistakes. And really, they had a lot of playmakers on offense and defense show up, and their quarterback simply didn't. So they're making the move back to Anthony Richardson. He's giving you a good floor, again, of explosive passing plays, explosive run games, a good running attack, and overall success on early downs. But can he build from that? Can he take his completion percentage from 40% to 50 to 55%? We will take this at that point because it'll just elevate the floor of this team even higher and make it so this offense can be more manageable. The Colts defense has been racking up some good performances lately and been punching the ball out, forcing turnovers, and doing their thing. And the playmakers from A.D. Mitchell to Josh Downs to Alec Pierce have been performing at wide receiver. They simply need the quarterback play to be there this week. That is the ultimate key to victory, is can the quarterback play just be adequate? All I'm asking for is adequate. That's all it needs. It's all it needs right now. Like, this is not even a shot at the Jets. It's really against anybody right now. It could be against the Minnesota Vikings 2 weeks ago, the Buffalo Bills last week. Just give me adequate quarterback play. And the Colts are a playoff team right now. So that's really what it comes down to. Anthony Richardson, what did he learn from with these 2 weeks on the bench? Hopefully he didn't learn too much from Joe Flacco's play on the field, but maybe he learned from Joe Flacco's experience off the field and just learned from his own experience of being benched and comes out there with a new fire and desire to get this win for the Colts. Because if the quarterback play can at least hit adequate this week, the Colts should be able to get the victory here against the New York Jets.
Well, I have 3 keys for the Jets. Number one, they need to show up to play. I mean, if you watch that game against Arizona, it was like I hate to go into cliches like this about effort and hustle, but there was zero effort in that game. It was like guys didn't care. And what was frustrating was they were coming off a huge win against Houston, and they kept saying we turned our season around, and they had 3 extra days to prepare. They got some good results in the early game Sunday. They got help that they needed because Denver currently owns the 7th seed in the AFC. Denver lost, and Denver should have won that game against the Chiefs. So everything was lined up for them. And it's not just that they lost; it's that they were dominated from the opening kickoff. So, I mean, does this team have any fight left in them? We'll start to find out on Sunday. Number 2. This is a late change because the Colts have a late quarterback change, and I don't know. By the time you're listening to this podcast, maybe the Colts will have gone back to Flacco, or maybe signed somebody else. I don't know, but when I heard the change to Anthony Richardson, my first thought was good from the standpoint that I always feel like when you're facing an opponent with an unclear quarterback situation, it can kind of throw the team into disarray. Then I thought this through, and I thought about how bad the Jets are against the run. And facing Anthony Richardson, that's going to be a challenge. No, I was a little disappointed because I wanted to make the joke that, the game got flexed from Sunday night to 1 o'clock because you have to give the early bird special to Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. So that joke's out the window. With Richardson in the lineup, the Colts rushing game becomes more dynamic. This is a tough rushing attack to face. The Jets have not played well against the run this year. I think this is another case where the numbers look a little bit better than the reality for the Jets. Jets have been dominated at points, I think, practically every game against the run. There have been some games where they've responded. They've had a bad first half and responded in the second half, or vice versa. I don't think there's been a full game outside of maybe week 3 against the Patriots where they completely shut down the other team's run game. This is going to be a real challenge. Jets need to tackle. Anthony Richardson's not an easy guy to bring down. Colts have some talent in their backfield. Jets need to tackle. No, if they miss 20 tackles in this game, they're going to get blown out again. And the third key is something you alluded to, the Colts blitzing a little bit more with Gus Bradley. This is Jets team that's been awful against the blitz. And I think part of it is Rodgers at 40 coming off an Achilles has pretty much no mobility left. He can move. There was one play against Arizona where he kind of he moved to his right and threw back across the field to Jeremy Ruckert. And the guys calling the game on CBS praised his mobility. And I was like, yeah, but nobody was chasing him there. He just kind of drifted off on his own. Rodgers is at a point where he can't outrun defensive tackles. And that's what happened on the play I referenced where he had to go to the tent after because he got injured. Rodgers can't evade any pass rushers. And that's made him very vulnerable to the blitz, in part because he has not really altered his game. In the past, in Green Bay, he could always outrun guys. He could always extend plays. In his current state, he can't do that. And I still don't think he's fully adjusted his game to that reality. I think that, he's not finding his hot routes quickly enough when he's under pressure. He's not doing the things he needs to do, and he can't outrun these guys anymore, which means the Jets need to do a better job protecting against the blitz. I think that means they need to leave extra blockers in frequently, particularly because they could be playing a left tackle who's a rookie, Olu Fashanu. He started a couple games early in the season, but at right tackle, this could be his first start of his career at left tackle. I think they'll need to help him out as often as possible. But with the Jets this year, outside of maybe the game they played against Houston, when teams have blitzed, it's been an automatic sack virtually. It's a guarantee to shut the Jets offense down. So they need to handle that well. And I think that means leaving extra blockers